Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thanks for clicking and watching what we are doing today. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Carmen. I run a vegetable garden for my family, and we have chickens, and a lot of the time we have videos on YouTube on how to do gardening and different types of gardening, and gardening with my son. My son also has his own little cooking corner, which is kind of relevant to what I'm doing, and he fully enjoys it. Before we move on, I would like to ask if you could like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Instagram at the.how.to.garden, on Facebook at Help Us Grow One, and on YouTube, the How to Garden. But if you could like, share and subscribe, I'm sure there's many people that need to know what to do with their excess mulberries. But yeah, let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know what we are doing today, we are making mulberry jam, which you can see by the jam and the mulberries and the sign. And I'm not saying this is the right way of doing it, but it is the way I am doing it. So, and it works perfectly well. I have never had an issue, especially about the way that I've canned it. Because mulberries only come once a year, my jams seem to last a year. Well, not that they could probably last longer, but we use it within the year. So, like I said, it's not, there's many ways of canning your goods. I have not had a problem with my mulberry jam going off, or any jams for that matter going off. But if you do, please, if you do see that that whatever you're canning is going off, please don't use it, because obviously it's not good. But yeah, I'll show you the method on how I do it and take it from there. So my mulberry jam gets mulberries, honey and lemon. This is because we do not at home, we do not own sugar, we do not have any sugar in our home. So our substitute is honey, and the lemon is to preserve it, and obviously the mulberries. These are the white mulberries. I think it's actually a mix, but it's probably cross-pollinated. But these are the white mulberries. You do get the black mulberries as well, but we only have the white mulberry trees. I also do add a pinch of salt. I don't know, it just helps neutralize the flavors and make it, I don't know, just nice. I do the same thing in my cakes as well, my frosting. And everyone seems to love it. But just the step is wash your mulberries, make sure there's no mulberries that are off. I don't have the exact amount of everything that you need here, but I generally use a full pot, because obviously I can a lot, so I use a full pot of mulberries with almost a full bottle, 1 liter bottle of honey. I use till there, so there's normally like that much honey left over. And I would probably use about 3 to 4 lemons, depending on how much juice I get from it and how it tastes. So during the cooking process, when it gets close to the end, I add the honey and I add the lemon, and then I give it a taste test to see how it tastes, and yeah, and then I work it from there. But I will try and link below the full recipe, or a full-on recipe that you can follow with the ingredients. The utensils you need is a large pot, a clean jar. So my jars I put in the dishwasher. I sterilize them fully before I can with them. Obviously a spoon to stir. You would also need a stand mixer. I forgot to put it on, but you will also need a stand mixer to make sure that everything is fully blended nicely. unless you like chunky mulberries, which is also not a problem. I'm just not a big fan. I like jam to be semi chunky, semi not. So yeah, and then labels. So I use masking tape and a permanent marker. It is the best idea to do labels because you should be writing your date, what you have in it, if it's for somebody that you're giving it to somebody, or if you are stocking them at home, it's better to know what you are stocking. But yeah, I think this is everything I use. I don't need a pressure canner for the way that I can, which is lovely, but if you do have a pressure canner, that's awesome, use that. But for people that don't have pressure canners, this is awesome. This is an awesome way to preserve your stuff if you do not have a pressure canner at hand. Right, the first step you are going to do is you are going to add your mulberry, or clean and wash your mulberries, and you're going to add it to the pot on, I would say, medium to low heat. Let it simmer. My massive pot that I did, I let it simmer for almost 2 hours. I know that probably sounds crazy, like why cook it for 2 hours? But I think it releases the right sugars, and I don't know, it just makes it so nice. If you cook it slow and long, don't rush this process because you're going to enjoy it in the end. So I have just put my mulberries on the pot, and I'm going to let it simmer for, I don't have as much mulberries as I had the last time, but I'm going to let it simmer for roughly an hour and then check on it again and update you guys. Right guys, now that I have probably cooked my mulberries for roughly 45 minutes to an hour. I did leave it on very, very slow, but my next step, what I do is I blend it. So my mulberries look like that. I'll come closer for you. Like that. So I blend it. I blend it with the hand blender, and then I put it back on the stove and I let it simmer. And then I add my honey, my lemon, and I let it cook down. And then I taste the whole time. And then from there I'll show you the next step. I have blended it down to the consistency that I like. Now what I'm going to do is add it back to the flame for I don't know, maybe another 30 minutes, but I'll let you know what it comes out like in a bit. Right guys, now my jam is done. This batch I've done is a little bit thicker than the previous batch, but I kind of like it. Looks good. So what I did was I had my jars in the dishwasher. I did a proper sterilize of it. The trick to this canning method is when you put the jam in, I don't even think I'm going to get the 2 jars. I might only get 3 jars. I might only get 2 jars. But the trick is to make sure when you do seal your can that you do not get it moist, your seal here or inside. So you'll see you got inside your, look, these are just normal jars that are, you know, like your jam jars you buy from the shop, or your honey jars, whatever. So if you see in your lid you've got a rubber type of seal, you need to make sure that is dry and this is dry, your rim of your bottle. And then once you seal it, you close it upside down and you keep it in this position until it's fully cooled down. I generally leave it for a whole day, and the next day then I'll turn it over and it will just suck the air in. Also, you should make sure that your jam fills all the way. Just like I am making such a mess, but to make sure that your jam fills all the way to the top of your bottle, and try and get as much air bubbles out. It's getting quite hot. Right, so I'm filling it right to the brim of the bottle. I'm just going to use this. I'll clean it later. So then what I do is I take my dry cloth, not a wet cloth because you don't want it to get moist on it, and I just make sure that the rim of the bottle is fully dry, and I seal my can tight. Oh, this is getting hot. And I just leave it upside down until it cools down to the room temperature, so generally a day. Let me just do the rest of this. So this won't fill, I don't think it will, it won't fill the full jar, but this will obviously be my next jar that I open. So I would have had a full pot of mulberries, but our tree is starting to slow down. We had a lot of heavy rains and winds, which threw off a lot of the mulberries. So I couldn't give you a full bottling. But then, yeah, so I will show you how I label it. And just give you a rough idea how, what and how to do your labeling. Right, so how I've done my labeling is I've literally just, I don't know if you can see that. So it's just Mulberry Jam, November 2020. I don't know if you can see that clearly. So the reason I label the jam this way is so that next year, or I will kind of know how old my jam is, but I still have a jam from last year, and it is still very, oh gosh, I think I'm doing this upside down, and it is still very nice. Masking tape's also just easier to take off. You don't get that horrible sticky stuff to your jars when you want to reuse them again. So that is how I make my mulberry jam. I'm going to give it a taste. Ooh. I have already had a really nice taste, but just do it for you guys. Oh man, that's it's so nice. For those of you that have an issue with sugar, honey is so, it's so nice with the mulberry jam. But you can use stevia as well. Stevia is a little bit more trickier, but with the ratio to stevia, it's 1 scoop for every cup. So just don't over sweeten with stevia. But otherwise, honey is just as good, and it tastes like proper jam. Like really nice. Like you wouldn't say that this is made with honey. So yeah, guys, go give it a try. I'm sure you would love it the way I do, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Also, before I leave, for those of you who are looking for me or want to share this, or you're looking for me on other social platforms, you can find me on the.how.to.garden on Instagram. On Facebook, we are at Help Us Grow One, and on YouTube, the How to Garden. If you're looking for Kai's Cooking Corner, so it's under Superhero Kai, or Cooking with Superhero Kai, you can also find us on that platform. Kai loves doing garden and cooking, so it being revolved around homesteading, I've just thrown everything onto the same channel. But furthermore, guys, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to put the notification bell on your YouTube when you subscribe for our upcoming videos. Awesome, guys. Enjoy. Bye.